They told us don't go to Phuket. The beaches are now crowded, there are scams everywhere, things are overpriced, Russians and Indians are taking over the island. But is that really a bad thing? So the last time I've been here was actually before COVID, where it was totally empty compared to what it is now. So how has Phuket changed? And is it still worth visiting if you're trying to be a digital nomad or even a passport bro? So first things first, for every good trip to Thailand, we need to take off a few things on our checklist. Number 1, we gotta see a temple. Number 2, we gotta get kissed or even sun-kissed. And number 3, we gotta go to a big attraction or even a theme park. And number 4, we gotta get a little bit inebriated or drunk. Number 5, of course, we gotta eat some nice local Thai food, check out some bars, cafe hop, all of that good stuff. And last but not least, we gotta go see some islands, because why are you not seeing them? And if you're in Phuket, it's like surrounded by beautiful islands and nice beaches. So first things first, we went to Big Buddha. This was one of the biggest temples in Phuket, right? And one thing I gotta note here is that the weather was really hot. If you're coming to Phuket, especially during the dry and hot season, make sure you bring sunblock because you don't want to get sunburned. Out of breath. Hello, we are at the Big Buddha. Can you see? It is a Buddha and it's very big. It is not very crowded today because I think on Google it said it was closed, because I think people thought that there was the landslide still going on. So it is very empty and it's good for us. But this place was very interesting because it's actually free entry. So if you're on a budget, it's actually a nice place to go and see a really nice view across the whole of Phuket. It was just a little hard to get to because you generally have to call a Bolt or Grab. But when you get there, it's a very scenic and tranquil place. There were a little bit of drums where people were playing gongs, and you could also walk up and give some offerings, pay your respects, get some blessings from the monks there. So this was a place that I really enjoyed. It was a peaceful get away from the hustle and bustle of Phuket, because if you know Phuket and where I was staying from, which was at Patong, it is actually really noisy and crowded. There are a lot of tourists, a lot of drunk people, a lot of partying. It is fun, it's mostly for young people, but this is just a very nice, different contrast to that environment. You can see a lot of families here, you can see people paying their respects, and I think it was a nice overall place to be at. Number 2, we gotta get kissed or even sun-kissed. The next place I went to was Simon Cabaret Show. So I'm at Simon Cabaret. It's my first time coming to a cabaret show. This is where we're at right now. The sun is really hot, so let's get in. This is where I said we would get not just kissed, but sun-kissed. I didn't go there with any kind of expectations. I actually used my miles for this, so if you can check out my other channel, Realize Gains, I've been collecting miles. So some of it I used to actually go for attractions here. It was my first time in a cabaret show. I couldn't film too much inside there, but they allow us to film the starting part and the ending part. I gotta say, the performers were really pretty and good looking. I think a lot of it is actually, they probably do a lot of makeup, cosmetic surgery, and I'm sure they have a lot going on. And they're also really tall, so I think it's also the common trope where you see like the performers are actually like lady boys or transvestites or transgenders. They tend to look as such. I'm sure not all of them are. There were also some freelance dancers and contemporary dancers in the show. But what I really like about this show, aside from all of that stuff, was that I think they actually showcased a lot of different nationalities, genres, and dancing styles. You saw a bit of like Korean dancing styles, Japanese dancing elements, an Indian song and dance. We had something for the Chinese tourists as well, and something for the Western audience as well. So they tried to cater to each of these large major tourist groups by performing something that was in relation to their culture. So I thought that was really interesting. It was probably a 1.5 hour show. I didn't really get the best seats because I didn't have enough miles for that. I got like the seats at the top floor, but it was still a really nice show. It was a really good experience, and I was quite taken aback when I came out because there was like people asking you to take photographs, and I really didn't see that you had to pay money for it, but it really didn't matter because the show was good, so I didn't mind tipping them. I think I gave like a 200 or 300 baht to them to take a photo of them, and I didn't expect to get kissed, but yeah, there it was. And number 3, we got to go to a big attraction or even a theme park. Well, we got our shades. We're gonna go to the lazy pool. The next place I went to was an attraction or a theme park, right? And to check this off, I went to this place called Andamanda Water Park.
I hope my camera is indeed waterproof. I've never used this in the water before, but we will find out today.
Oh yeah.
So I gotta tell a little quick story here about my journey towards this place. So I was living at Patong, which was the west of the island, and we had to travel all the way to the east of Phuket to go to this water park. So the night before, I was out drinking and I was really tired, so I called a Grab to the water park. And because I was staying at Patong, which was the west of Phuket, I had to travel all the way to the east, and it was a semi-long journey, like half an hour. So I fell asleep on the Grab, and okay, you can blame me for this, but I wasn't wearing a seatbelt. And you know, I've been to Phuket before, I've seen these kind of traffic stops, but I never realized that they had new law changes. So I've actually been to Phuket a couple of years ago and several times in my life, but I didn't realize that they had changes to the traffic laws here. Apparently now, they actually fine you quite heavily for not putting on a seatbelt. And I was just slouched on the seat, like my fault, honestly, for not wearing a seatbelt. But I didn't expect them to like pull me out and then start reprimanding me and then asking me to pay a fine. And the fine was not cheap by any means. I don't have a gripe with, you know, traffic laws. I understand that in every country you go to, you have to wear a seatbelt. I do wear a seatbelt in Singapore. But I was like quite perplexed by how much the fine was compared to the other offences. Because if you were, let's say, riding a motorbike without a license or not wearing a helmet, you get fined like 1,000 baht, which is about like maybe 30-40 US dollars. But not wearing a seatbelt actually cost me 2,000 US dollars because you can get fined double for not wearing a seatbelt in a safe Grab car compared to just like not having a license and not wearing a helmet. You get fined half of what I was fined. So that was what I was kind of confused about. And I honestly thought, you know, they wouldn't check because I was kind of like going in a normal Thai vehicle. It's not like I was very, I don't know. I just felt this experience was really intriguing because I was led to this police station, and then there were a bunch of other foreigners there, and it was all foreigners. That's why I didn't understand. It was like a bunch of China tourists, a lot of Caucasians there, and they all got fined for motorbike incidents, and I was the only one who was fined for not wearing a seatbelt. So yeah, I had to pay my fine, and they led me on with my journey and told me that like I could use this ticket if I ever got stopped again. But obviously for the rest of the trip, I wore my seatbelt. So that was kind of a bummer, but when we made it to the water park, it was actually a really nice park. One thing I gotta note here is that you gotta understand the Phuket sun, the Thailand sun is extremely hot. I had to put like 5 to 6 layers of sunblock like each time. I kept putting sunblocks like 6 times throughout this whole time I was at the water park, because I saw so many people like peeling like lobsters, okay? Like everybody was walking around. I don't know whether because they're like Caucasians or white people, but they were not white when they were there, man. They were like red, okay? Everybody was like really tan, and you could see their skin peeling into the water. It's kind of gross. Yeah, but the water park was really fun. The implements were really like I would say it's not dangerous, but it was kind of scary. It's not the kind of water park I'm used to because they were really high. They were very thrill. It's really good if you're an adrenaline junkie or thrill-seeking guy, because I think the sports there were no joke, right? The activities there were quite intense. But I took a little bit more of the family-friendly ones. So I went to the kiddie pool, but I still had a lot of fun.
Get yourself a strong, independent woman to carry. Who's gonna carry the boats? Megan. Okay, put it down. I'm just gonna walk around. We're off to do this mat thing where you hold onto this mat and you slide down the slide. Megan's gonna do it, even though she doesn't want to do it. But we're gonna have fun, right? Right. We're gonna have fun. We are now going to water slide. I can't bring my camera with me, so we're just gonna put it in my pocket and hopefully no one finds out. It's 25 minutes to wait and my feet are burning. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Clears my sinuses. It's like when you go up, it's like all the water go in, and all goes out.
At number 4, we gotta get a little bit inebriated or drunk. So the next place I went to was this place called Bangla Walking Street. Actually, it's not really in chronological order that I'm saying this, because I don't know. I actually went to Bangla Walking Street a lot because I was staying at Patong. And if you've been there before, it is kind of the rowdiest place on earth. I don't know how to put it. You get touted left, right, and center. There are people asking you to go to watch ping pong shows, to take all sorts of extra stuff, and it was just a lot to take in. Like if you're someone that maybe are introverted or don't like so much stimulation, this is an extremely overstimulating place. Okay, there are lights and there are signs and there are people talking to you in your I would say there's like a little devil in your ear, on your left and your right, everywhere you walk. Okay, that's how I would kind of describe this place. But if you're just there for a good time, it's kind of fun. You don't go there for too long, a couple of hours, and then you just head back home. I had a couple of drinks. I went to Illusion Club, I went to Sugar Club, I went to a lot of other girl bars there, which were quite interesting. But I went there with my girlfriend, my partner, so we were trying to play it safe. We didn't really get into much trouble. But if you read the reports online, there are people who are locals that are beating up Caucasians for not paying here. There are even knife stabbings. There are theft that's going on around this area. So I just wanted to be a little bit safe. So I just kept a low profile and just walked through the street each time. Number 5, of course, we gotta eat some nice local Thai food. Check out some bars, cafe hop, all of that good stuff. Yeah. So for the next part, we went to this place called Phuket Old Town. It was a bit of a kind of a quieter part of Phuket, and I actually kind of preferred staying here. If I could go back to Phuket again, I probably would stay at this area because it's very quaint. There's a lot of nice cafes. If you're a big foodie like myself, you will love this place. There are a lot of I actually ate I went to a Singaporean restaurant called Lau Pasat that was inside Phuket Old Town, and I ate chicken rice and laksa because I was kind of craving Singaporean food. But there was a lot of nice Thai delicacies here. You could get your basil chicken rice. You could get your mudang. You could get all of the pad thai, whatever you want here. And there's also a lot of nice chendol ice desserts kind of things here. And I went around this area just cafe hopping, trying out the ice creams and everything else. So yeah, I think I gained a lot of weight this trip.
Let's get a bit of the sauce. Very nice. My favorite. I've been in Phuket for almost 3 weeks. Wait, I've been in Thailand for almost 3 weeks, and it's the first time I've had it. Time for you to try.
Try it. Very soft. Don't mind her nonchalant expression. She's actually very happy. Take some sauce. This means she's extremely overjoyed.
And last but not least, we gotta go see some islands because why are you not seeing them? And if you're in Phuket, it's surrounded by beautiful islands and nice beaches. To check off this checklist, we went to this place called Phi Island. It's kind of a common place. It's whenever you walk past Phuket, there are a lot of people who are telling you to go to this place. There are a lot of tour agencies that charter a boat out to this area, and it is, to be frank, a very overly touristy spot. When you see people post pictures there on the beach, it looks empty, but you gotta understand you're probably surrounded by a lot of people. The last time I came here, actually, it wasn't crowded at all because it was right during COVID or before, around that period. So there was not a lot of tourists. But when this time I went, the island was full. But it was still a very beautiful scenic place. What I really liked about this place was that right now I think they're doing a lot more conservation efforts. When I went there were a lot of guides that tell me you couldn't walk on the sand, you couldn't go into the sea, and I think that's a lot better for the coral reefs. It's a lot better for littering. It's very clean. They're doing a lot better job in terms of keeping the national parks and the beaches clean there compared to 5-6 years ago when I was here. It is much nicer, cleaner, and it's still as amazing as before. So that was it. That was my trip to Phuket, Thailand. Whether I'm going to be coming here in the future, probably. But I think that, as I grow older, I would probably want more quiet areas to live in. I think there's a lot of changes since I've been here. There are a lot of new tourists. You'll see that I think since the Russian-Ukraine war, you see a lot of Russians here. There are to be frank, a lot of Indian here for, I guess, the sex tourism. It is truly a sight to behold when you walk through the streets. But I still enjoy this place. I probably will come back here again. And yeah, it's a fitting end to this video. And yeah, I had a lot of food, a lot of fun, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!